Yo, JD here. This is going to be my 2016 quarterback list. I'm going to have two different lists here. The first list will be top 10 quarterbacks, like talent wise, and who I think is the best, and who, if I had to start a franchise, who would I pick at this moment? If it was a fantasy football draft and I could pick any team, any player I want to be the quarterback of my team, who would I pick? And this is the order. The second list will be who I think will actually have the best season this year. Okay? Number one on who I think is the best quarterback, and one and two are interchangeable. It just really depends. A lot of people don't like the number one I have, so they say the other one is. That's from my hat. That's a fuzzy. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's a fuzzy. So they probably won't agree with me, but it's my list. You can make your own list if you want to. Number one is Tom Brady. He is still the best quarterback in the league. Probably the best quarterback ever when you gauge where he was drafted. In his accomplishments based. How many quarterbacks have been to 6 Super Bowls? I don't. By my memory, I don't think any. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe Elway's been to like 5 or 6. He might be close, but I think Elway's been to 5. I think he lost 3 and won 2. So Brady's won 4, lost 2. So that's a really good record. And he didn't get beat because he didn't play well. He got beat because of some lucky catches. But just getting the 6 Super Bowls alone is a huge accomplishment. So when I think overall talent, I think he's still good. I think he still has a killer arm. He's really good at running a West Coast style offense. And he gets a lot of points with me because he plays very well. Number 2 is Aaron Rodgers. And again, these are 1 and 2, 1A, 1B. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is slightly more talented than Tom Brady right now because he's younger. But overall, I think Tom Brady is just more accomplished. He's done more. A little bit of other things help too. He has a better system around him. After Aaron Rodgers' season last year, he kind of took a step back. Tom Brady has proven that even with a lot of injuries, he has proven to still be able to carry the team and still orchestrate a good offense, even when he doesn't have Welker, Gronk, he's still able to orchestrate the offense downfield and get in the end zone. Aaron Rodgers last year didn't prove that so much. Okay, so I don't think I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but he got some proving to do. I want to see what he does when he has that kind of adversity again. Number 3, and this is based on talent because he is talented, and I don't like him one bit. I'm gonna switch 2 guys right now. Well, I'll leave it the way it is. Number 3 is Ben Roethlisberger. Talent-wise, he is a good quarterback. He makes the right throws. He has good touch. I don't personally like him because I don't like the Steelers, but he's a good quarterback. He can put the ball where it needs to be. Now, there's also you got to factor in that he's surrounded by pretty good offensive talent. So that's a big part of what makes him successful is being surrounded by offensive talent. That's why Tom Brady gets the notch over all of them. Because, Gronk is a good player, but he doesn't always have Gronk. Gronk gets injured a decent amount of the time. And even one year when Gronk was injured, he still made the Super Bowl. Or he gets the NFC Championship game every year. But I think Ben is still a very good quarterback. He's definitely got the credentials to prove it. So that's why he's on this list. I honestly would put Brees a little higher because I think Brees is a little bit better because he doesn't have as good of weapons as Ben. But based on Ben's 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 Super Bowl wins, gotta give him a little bit of the edge there. Number 4 is Andrew Luck, which I'm actually going to switch 4 and 5. Number 4 is Drew Brees. Drew Brees, ever since he's been on the Saints, he's had over 4,000 passing yards and 32 touchdowns a year. Pretty much that means consistency. That means he does his job. Whether the Saints go 14 and 2 or 2 and 14, he's done that every year. That's a lot of passing yards for one quarterback in one place. I think he's been there since 2007. So that's very, very good. That's consistency, and right now that's all they have is him. He's a very Very consistent quarterback. He pretty much carries the team. And he's not like super big. I think he's only like 6'1", if that. So he plays very well for his size, and he just plays very well. He's a very good quarterback overall. A better team with better weapons, he probably would be just overly elite. But you kind of got to gauge it based on what's around him. Number 5 is Andrew Luck. Now, I switched him and Brees because, not think about it, you can be as talented as you want, but you still have to put numbers up. You still have to produce. Andrew Luck is extremely talented. Probably the next Rodgers or Brady or whatever you want to call it. But you have to be able to... First off, he throws way too many interceptions. I don't care if you are forced to throw the ball a lot. It's counterproductive to throw interceptions a lot and then turn around and say, I got to throw the ball a lot because my team's down. Well, you got to throw the ball a lot because your team's down because you're throwing interceptions. So it's counteractive. But he is a very good player. He can make any throw. He's strong. Just got to protect him. And I fear that I'm hoping we don't lose one of the best careers of a quarterback because the team who he plays for decides not to protect the guy. Number 6 is Russell Wilson. He is gradually getting better and better every year. We'll see how good he does. He was in the MVP hunt last year, and for good reason. Now that the offense has shifted more towards him, I think we're going to see I think he's like the next Drew Brees. Short quarterback, killer arm, really knows how to put the ball, is really smart. I think Russell Wilson is extremely smart, and being a dual threat quarterback really does help. Number 7 is Romo. Tony Romo, talent-wise, he is very good. Okay, you can say what you want. I can do another video. Statistically, how good is he? He's one of the best quarterbacks of the last 40 years, statistically. Just like Aaron Rodgers, everyone might ditch Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers has a stat no one can touch. He has 4.1 touchdowns per 1 interception. That's a 4-to-1 ratio. No one can touch that. Tom Brady's is 2.85 to 1, which is almost 3, which is pretty good. But 4.12 to 1 is an incredible ratio that Aaron Rodgers has. Okay? Romo is another very efficient quarterback. His fourth quarter QBR is through the charts, and he's extremely good when it comes to. This is strictly on talent, in my opinion, of who I would pick if I had choice to pick my own team and start my own franchise. Okay, number 8 is Cam Newton. Now, I'm not personally I don't dislike Cam Newton, but I'm not a huge fan of his either. Cam Newton is a very talented quarterback when it comes to overall talent and athleticism. He's a superstar, freak athlete. Very strong. I think he's 6'4", 6'5". And he had a really good year last year. Now, I'm not one of those people that says, oh, he's the greatest in the league now. Let's see. Let's see him do that for about 2 or 3 years straight. Then we'll say he's up there. Okay? Because it could easily, the next Brady Peyton matchup, basically, where Brady Peyton are 1 and 2 and they're competing every year, could easily turn into Luck, Newton. Could really easily turn into that. I actually think it's a trifecta of Luck, Newton, and Wilson. And you could probably throw in Matt Ryan if he gets his head out of his butt. Number 9 is Carson Palmer. He proved last couple of years he's been pretty good. When he is healthy, and he's legitimately healthy, and he has consistent playing time, he is a very good quarterback. Okay? But when he has sporadic injuries and he doesn't have consistency around him, I think he's a really good front runner. If his team's playing well, he'll play well. And you know what? If your team is playing well and you know how to encourage your team to at least stay in the positive all the time, he can really flow off of that. And he's got a killer arm. He hits his targets. They had the best offense in the league last year, and I don't see them slowing down. Number 10, a lot of people are going to disagree with this one. And there's a couple others that are honorable mentions that someone will say are better. I honestly, for the longest time, and I've thought this since he was drafted, I think Alex Smith is very underrated as a quarterback. Everyone always says, oh, he's the ultimate game manager. He's the ultimate game manager. I don't think he's a game manager. I think he chooses to be a game manager based on the team he has around him. There's a couple times in his career he has not had great offensive weapons, and he has chosen to be a game manager because it is the best and most efficient way for them to win. Because he recognizes how good his defense is, his running game, and if he just doesn't do certain things, they will win. I saw last year a quarterback who can fling the football. Now his statistics are going to say otherwise. I think I think they started the season like 0-5, and they pretty much, I think they won like 10-1 after that, or 11-0. I don't know. They won like 11 or 9 straight. I think they won the first game, then lost 5. I think that's what happened. Then they won 10 straight. Okay, and I saw a different attitude out of him. I saw a quarterback who would not be denied, and he put his team, I don't want to say on his back because he still has a great running game, but basically pushed himself more and his team into the playoffs. Almost won the division. If Denver would have got upset the last game of the season, he would have made the playoffs. So, and you can argue with me if you want. I might do a video on this. The playoff game against the Patriots, Alex Smith was putting the ball on the money the entire game, especially in the fourth quarter when they were down. And he did not have Macklin, and he don't have I can't remember the second receiver's name. He did not have Macklin, and none of his guys could catch a football. I might get the game, and I might actually do a video on it, but he put the ball on the money the entire fourth quarter. Okay, and he gave his team a chance to win. Honorable mentions. There's a few. Obviously, Matt Ryan is a very good quarterback. Now, I have a little anger towards him because I drafted him in fantasy football and he did nothing last year. So, but he is talent-wise, he's very good. I wouldn't start a franchise with him because I don't trust him. So, Phillip Rivers, he would probably be my number 11 if I could put him on there. Because Phillip Rivers is he's in the same situation as Brees. I just think Brees has done it longer and with less. Phillip Rivers is on a team that does not give him the appropriate weapons to make him let him be a Super Bowl champion. I think that's the best way to put it. In his draft, the year he's drafted, you had him, Ben Roethlisberger, and Eli Manning. And he's the only one of those three that have not gotten a Super Bowl. And you're not going to sit there and tell me that the San Diego Chargers have not gotten a Super Bowl because of Phillip Rivers. It's other things. So he's very good. Eli Manning is another guy that gets honorable mention. That's another one I just don't trust. Okay, I don't trust him. I trust Rivers. I do trust Rivers. But I do not trust Eli Manning. If I were to put my money on it, I would not put Eli Manning as my starting quarterback. I would not draft him unless I had to. The reason why is I think 3 or 4 times now he's led the league in interceptions. And, I understand it's year-by-year basis, but he has his high points and his low points. And even if you take those two and you average it out to the middle, he's still a mediocre quarterback with elite moments and then a mediocre quarterback with horrible moments. And I don't trust that. Okay? Another honorable mention I will throw out there, and this is going to be a dumpster fire as soon as I say it, is Jay Cutler. Okay? Jay Cutler, talent-wise, is just as talented as Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers. He's got a killer arm. He's got talent. Problem with Jay Cutler is it doesn't seem like he gives a shit. Okay? And he doesn't. He just doesn't seem like he cares. Which, you know what, that's his prerogative, that's his agenda, whatever you want to call it. I can't trust that. I do think he's gotten a little bit of a really bad rap because of a couple things he's done in his past. I'm sure if he can go back and redo things, he would. I watch First Take all the time. And Stephen A. Smith always gives him a hard time because in an NFC Championship game, he was riding a bike. Maybe he just didn't trust his body. And he was riding a bike, and I'm sure if he can go back in time, he would fix that. Because with him, they probably could have got to the Super Bowl. It's possible. And then they'll be having a completely different discussion about Jay Cutler. Because he might have shown up and gotten a Super Bowl and then showed up and balled out. It's possible. So, So that's my top 10 quarterbacks talent-wise with some honorable mentions. Because this video is 15 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and stop it, and I'm going to make another video about my top 10 of who I think is going to have the best seasons this year. Okay? See ya.